You had a chance to
Yeah.
look at the requisitions?
And I have no problem with the
Me
requisition.
neither.
Okay, we do have on one add-on, we have Tammy Whitaker, benefits.
Okay, come forward, Ms. Whitaker.
Good morning. So this is a COBRA question. So we had an employee that retired in June of 2019. So he and his spouse were offered 18 months of COBRA coverage. He elected COBRA for his spouse.
You allowed to elect Cobra for that long?
Yeah,
18 months.
the minimum is 18 months,
Okay,
and it could go all the way to 36 months.
okay, all right.
So what transpired here is they elected the coverage. That period of eligibility was June 1st of 19 through December 31st of 20. Elected for the spouse. They pay the premiums. The premiums during that 18-month period was $84.57.66, so $8,400, and the claims were $1,048 for that period. So that was, we collected $7,400 in premium over the claims paid. So we didn't realize, but the coverage continued up beyond the 18 months, and it shouldn't have. And during the ineligible period of 7/1/19 from January 1st of 2021 to September 30th of 2021, that was the ineligible period. And during that period of time, there was $6,100 paid in claims and $4,900 in premium collected. So a difference negative to the county was $1,200. For the total period of coverage, the county actually collected $6,100 more in premium than what we paid in claims. So my question is, does the board wish to recover the amount during the ineligible period of $1,200 that they paid in claims versus premium collected, or because of the total period of coverage, which was 7/1/19 to 9/30 of 2021 currently, the plan has actually collected $6,100 more in premium than claims
So
paid.
So we continued to pay the premium from January 1 of 21 through September 30th of 21, and they continued to utilize the insurance, but they did not pay their piece of it.
So for the first 18 months, they paid it was the spouse only, and that was the duration, that was the eligible period. They paid the premium, and United Healthcare paid the claims. During that period of time, they paid more in premium than United Healthcare on behalf of the county
Yeah,
paid
but
in
that
claims.
doesn't matter to me. I think what matters to me is, because that's how insurance risk pooling works, is we are pooling everybody's risk, and that's how we are able to offer insurance the way we do. What matters to me is if we made an error or they made an error, someone made an error, but we continue to pay our premiums, they continue to use the insurance, but they didn't pay their piece.
They did pay their premiums. So during that ineligible period of, it's January 1st of this year, to the last premium we collected was through September 30th of this year, so a 9-month period. They were not eligible to have that coverage.
Okay.
However, it was an internal error here, recently discovered, and during that period, they did pay their premiums.
Okay, so they paid and we paid.
And we paid, but during that period, we actually paid, the county paid more in claims than what we collected in premium.
I see, of
Yeah,
$1,200.
Of $1,200, but for the total period of coverage, that first 18 months, we actually collected $7,400 in premium.
So we're still ahead, that's
Yeah,
what
we're
you're
still
saying.
ahead,
Well,
we're
not
still
really
ahead.
ahead. So let me back up and see if I understand this. The only reason why you claim we're ahead is because we were paying more ourselves. They were only paying how much a month?
They were, for that, it was a single plan. It was $547 a month,
They were paying that amount?
yeah.
Okay, so, excuse me, so they were paying a significant amount of money. All right, so so when we do this coverage, do we have a participation in it, other than the fact that we ultimately pay claims and stuff? Do we have a premium amount that we help to defray for the people that are on this? Do we pay any part of the premium?
No,
Okay,
our
so
rates are
it's
set
entirely
based on,
paid- So in other words, the actual fact is that the money out of their pocket was more than the money that they received from us.
correct.
Okay, all right, so I'd say Merry Christmas, we'll forgive them for it, that would be my position. But the only question I have is, can we legally do this? Because in effect, while we made a mistake, these monies that were expended inappropriately by this county. In other words, we should never have had this insurance, and it's illegal for us to have provided insurance during that period of time. So as long as this is a lawful thing that we're doing, I'm okay with it. But I'm not sure that this is legal.
The prosecutor's office took a look at it, and I was working with Katie, and they suggested that, you know, for this period of ineligibility, these 9 months, you know, she was not eligible for the coverage.
But my question to the prosecutors, if they were here, would be, can we lawfully do this? Did they answer that question? Because that's my concern. I have no problem
Yeah.
waiving this thing. I have no problem forgiving it. I have no problem doing it. My problem is, I'm not sure that we can legally do it. That's what I'm worried about. I'd like that, so my vote is to waive the thing and to let it lie the way it is, subject to or conditioned upon the prosecutors telling us that that is a lawful, legal right that we can do that.
I'll get with them on that. They did say in the review of the totality of the claims and the premium, that if the county would have been at a deficit, then, you know, a recovery would be, you know, would be needed. And, you know, I guess we could, you know, work at
Yeah, I
some
mean,
arrangement on that.
I agree with this, because these people were paying but you see, what that doesn't tell you is exactly the point that Commissioner Jones made, or I think in part she was making, which is that they're paying to have a risk covered. And even if you don't have claims that exceed their premiums, they still were insuring their risk. Hey, if there had been something terrible that happened, which was skyrocketing more expensive, we would have paid that. And then all of a sudden, we'd be having a very different conversation. So my concern here is, can we actually legally do this? I just don't know. And so if, I'm okay with it precisely because they in fact paid more. And who received that money? Was that ultimately the county that received that money?
The county received, so we administer COBRA, and I think how it kind of transpired is that it was during when the munis first rolled out. So we had a system in place where it automatically.
But my question is this: we've received, the county itself into our funds has received more money from them than was paid out by us, correct?
Right, correct,
So I mean, so we came out better on the deal, but that's only because they didn't have a claim that exceeded their premium. Because this is the gamble that's being made here. And of course, we have a big pool of people in this where we're hoping that we always have higher premiums that are being paid than otherwise. And in this particular case, the county usually covers, when they're employed by us, a significant portion of the premiums, correct? But when they're on COBRA, they pay the premium entirely.
100%. Our rates are driven by the COBRA premium.
right.
So we have a 100% plan.
So
and
once again,
15%
as it
cost share.
turns out, we won on the gamble. But we might not have, and I only want the prosecutors to confirm that we can legally do this. Otherwise, my decision today would be to let it lie, to say, thank you very much. and we're sorry this happened, we know we made the mistake, but as long as the prosecutors say this is okay, and we commissioners are not engaging in some ultra-virus or some other act from which we don't really have authority to do, then I'm okay to leave it that way. I don't know what your feeling is, Shannon.
No, I agree completely.
And you're right on your thought process on that, Shannon, that it's, the coverage is there to protect against loss, and sometimes you pay more premium than you do in claims, so, but that would be the question, and then, and I'll get additional legal guidance on that.
But you don't even have to come back to us, in my opinion, as long as the prosecutors say, nope, it's okay, we don't need to hear about this
Yeah.
again.
Okay, and then we will go ahead and send this participant, once I get that guidance, the participant a letter that the coverage would end October 30, the end of the month,
Oh,
assuming that
really?
we-
So we're still covering them?
Well, it's just, we've just become aware of it.
Well, this is
So-
a problem for me now. So now, I got another problem with that. If this is something, I think you should return their premium for this month and say it ended in September. We shouldn't be covering this any longer. So I think that what you need to do is return the premium that they paid for October, and that you should tell them, we're sorry, we've made this mistake, but this was supposed to end on this date, it didn't, so we're returning your premium for this month. All prior claims have been paid properly, and I assume that there's been nothing submitted that hasn't been processed yet.
It doesn't appear so, and we haven't actually collected the October premium yet. They have a 30-day grace period, so
Well, I wouldn't,
they're within that.
I wouldn't
So-
give it that. I
okay.
would say, I would
Yeah.
tell them not to pay it, and that the coverage ended at the end of September. And it actually, it ended way prior to that. We just were making a mistake.
Yeah.
But we gotta end this problem.
Okay.
Okay.
I will get that taken care of, and I'll let you know what the prosecutor's office says about that, and we'll get
Okay,
the letter
yeah,
sent out.
information would be helpful, but again, you don't have to get our permission again to do this if the prosecutors give you, say that we're okay.
Okay, very good, thank
I
you.
guess the one question I have, Tammy, is we've obviously, you say that it's oversight on our part. Is that remedied so that we don't have this problem in the future?
It is, there was a perfect storm of things that I think caused this to happen. One is we lost the ability to have COBRA notification audit system generated. Munis doesn't yet have that ability to do that, so there's a lot of manual work that goes into it. There was a similar situation where, this particular situation was driven by the employee and that their event of retirement. That's an 18-month election period. There was also a COBRA offering going out to an employee where a divorce was involved. That's a 36-month event. So I think, because those were happening at the same time, and it was just, it has never happened before, and we have processes in place now to make sure that it doesn't happen
This was
again.
a human error by a particular person that we employ?
Yes,
Okay, so in other words, they thought it was 36 months when it was 18 months? Was that the issue?
correct.
All right, so they just made a mistake?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Is that it?
Yeah. I'll make a
Okay.
motion to adjourn.
Okay, I'll accept that. Thank you. Oh, well, wait a second, we were gonna open this up to the public, or we've adjourned already?
There's no public here, though.
Well,
They
okay.
can't do it
And they're
online.
not doing it online anymore? Okay, good. Excellent, I'm glad to know that. All right, thank you.
They have to be here to.
Well, we could have announced it at the go